Good morning. I was asked by an observant student what the picture was that hangs on my wall and usually is over my right shoulder, and that's a story of the weekend. It was a picture of the little village, if you could call it a village, probably taken in 1939, somewhere around that, or maybe before that. Uh, and it is that church that, if we get my finger on it right, that where I received my initial biblical foundation. My mom and dad were in their 20s when they moved into this farming community 10 miles from town, and a couple of men, as far as my sister and I can ascertain, unsaved men, came to my dad and asked if he would work to get that building reopened and have a church in the community. And I had the awesome privilege of speaking there yesterday. It was through the ministry of that church that I heard the gospel. I accepted Christ as my Savior and have been propelled through the influence of Moody Bible Institute through these years of my life. I started pastoring a church uh, as a student at Moody Bible Institute when I was 19, about 25 miles from this church. But the key is my home church, this building that I showed you, had a passion to help a couple of struggling churches. And let's see, I have to do a little math. Uh, 10 to 15 years later, after they conducted a Bible school in that community, where I heard memorized Isaiah 57:20 and 21. But the wicked are like the troubled sea whose waters cannot rest. It casts up mire and dirt. There's no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. I was I accepted Christ through that memorization. And then I was called to pastor one of those churches, which in the meantime had voted a mainline denomination out that had become an independent Bible church. So, little trigger of history there. What a heritage God has lavished upon me. I cannot believe it. Well, we're in week 6, and do you know what that means? This is the next to last week. I can't imagine that we are at that stage, but we are. You have some great reading this week in reading that article by Toussaint and the one by Woodstra. And your assignment papers are the 6-1 is that you will do that on Toussaint only. And then assignment 6-2 is a kind of a comparison contrast of the Woodstra and Toussaint's positions. So it's a good thought-provoking assignment, one that you want to carefully evaluate and think through. I've also done some research on availability of something that would be less intense for the Bach article that we had a few weeks ago. Interestingly enough, he is in the process of writing a book that would be a lot more understandable for us. And so that will be forthcoming, but probably not for a year, maybe a little longer. And that's in the process. So we have a great discussion board this week. I'm sure that will stimulate a lot of interactions with us. And I just pray that the Lord will continue to bless you and encourage you as you seek to walk in His ways.